Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rule Thirds, your favorite film culture podcast, because my name is Larry.
My name is Sean.
And my name is Max.
And it's been a while, huh?
Yeah, almost a month.
Quite a
Actually,
while since
has it
we've
been
made an
exactly a
episode.
month? Let me check.
I guess it has been.
So, no, exactly a month. This was...
Wow.
Dawn of Justice Review was posted April 2nd. We are recording this May 2nd.
Wow.
I'll be
Damn.
posting this tomorrow morning, so it'll be a day
And
in the month.
and we recorded that before we posted on May 2nd, so it's been over a month now since we've recorded an episode.
Yep.
And we've just been very, very busy. I guess I'm in the final stretch right now, and because a lot of my finals are project based, I've been working on finals before the final stretch, so it's been quite a stressful number of months. But how are you guys doing? How have your film school stuff been progressing?
It's weird to be in the last week of college.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. You guys are graduating. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's weird. That's all I can say, because it's been 4
Yeah.
years, and it's not going to be around in a little bit. And there's good and bad with that, of course. So, but
Yeah,
it's stressful. I have a lot of projects and stuff to wrap up. No finals to study for, no papers to write, luckily, but projects I do need to finish before the end of the week. So that's kind of piling up.
Well, that's good. You're doing what you love for your finals.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
pretty cool.
I like all the projects, including the final of the 3 previews. So,
Oh yeah, I saw the preview on Alien.
Yeah,
Really good.
yeah, Alien went up. Oh, thank you. So if people don't know, I brought preview back. I did Star Wars: Force Awakens, then I did Alien, and I'll say it. Why not? The next one is X-Men: Apocalypse,
What?
and that felt very
Nice.
fitting because I did Days of Future Past as my third episode back in the original run, and the college ending, world, it's all crumbling, guys. Everything.
Strangely topical.
No,
A little too topical.
that's in the episode. Don't worry, I make note of it. So.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Max, you're speaking at your commencement.
That is true.
Apparently.
I'm
That's a great
That's,
opportunity.
like,
Congratulations.
This governor of my state spoke at my high school graduation. Like, you're the equivalent of my governor. That's pretty sick. I think legally you are now the governor of Montana. Yes.
great.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. Wow.
I think that's how it
Governor
works.
of Montana.
I think that's how it works.
First rule of business: figure out what Montana looks like.
It looks like a
Nice.
face, and then it's super
Nice.
flat and straight and boring on the right side. Montana's got the
Alright,
face
cool.
going on the left side. That's what Montana looks like. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Well, Max, you nervous?
Well,
Excited?
it balances out. It's more so just I want to say something that I can, that my class is proud to hear. I'm not here to just like pander or appease to anyone. A lot of these speeches are like, "We did so good, and the school's so good," and it's like, you know what? I'm not here to like, just ignore a lot. So I'm going to be honest, not in like a critical way, but just like in a very like genuine way. I'm hoping people will like it.
Yeah, and I
good.
think
Well,
I think you
we
need
have
to hit a
faith in you,
balance.
buddy.
I think you hit a balance
Yeah,
because a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
those people, this is going to be like the biggest achievement of their life so far. Like they worked so hard, it's been a really long journey, and they're so proud to be there, and like the families there are so proud. So you want to give them something memorable. But then there are students that really just kind of want to get through the ceremony because they don't actually give a crap about the ceremony itself.
Yeah, it's
so you
true.
might not want to spend too much time.
Yeah.
I'm in the latter camp. If you couldn't tell. Like, that's the
Nice.
thing.
Nice.
I'm glad I went through film school. Like I'm proud of what I've made here and what I've learned. But I don't care. I don't want to actually go to my graduation. That's on
Really?
Saturday at like 7:30 a.m. I have to line. That's
Oh,
awful.
wow.
Awful.
Dang.
Anyway,
Well, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Max, good luck. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
it's going to be great. Hopefully there'll be a recording.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
I
gonna be a
wanna-
recording.
I
Yeah, you're all gonna be able to see me crash and burn, but it's gonna be pretty funny. So
I mean,
Max crashing and burning.
Don't do the. Remember the Roger Ebert tribute, and we kind of rejected your
oh,
segments.
I know that. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Well,
Oh,
people
God.
like that voice
God.
around here, so I don't know.
But don't. No, Max. No.
The parents, though. Think of the parents, Max. Think of
Oh
the
no,
parents, the
I'm gonna
distinguished
talk like a
faculty.
regular person. Don't worry.
Cool. Anyway, sorry. We
Alright,
should move on to the topic
All right.
at hand.
Yes,
first
but that was
community.
good to-
I don't want to forget.
Glad to see you. I just wanted to check in with you guys. Glad to see everything's going well. Sean, what about our last episode? What did they say?
Well, a month ago, they said. Whitley said, Robin Hood was the movie I was talking about, not Brave. I can't see. The problem is it's been over a month since the episode you're referring to. So, okay, this comment is on the episode a month ago, and we responded to his comment the episode before that. So he made this comment on the episode before that. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Do you understand that? I just like that for you.
I find it hard to believe you'd mistake Robin Hood for Brave.
I mean, archers
Yeah, but like they're pretty different.
Bears, if we're going with the Disney version.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
bears.
Yeah, but like Robin Hood, is like the Men in Tights.
I can't remember the context. So
Brave
anyway,
is bears.
he says Batman vs Superman doesn't interest him one bit. That's weird. I was very interested by this movie. I understand you're not seeing it. You didn't miss anything really, but interesting. I mean, come on, it was at least going to be a train wreck. Come on.
Yeah.
And then Seth said he didn't watch BVS. Doesn't intend to, mostly because he values his sanity. That's overselling it. It's mostly boring. You would be fine. It's just not that great of a movie. So.
You would probably lose your sanity more if you listen to what Zack Snyder said in interviews.
Speaking of which, he says, along with
oh my god,
a website, it sounds like, called it the Showgirls of superhero movies, which that's hilarious. And he said, along with how Snyder has vocalized his desire to adapt The Fountainhead, a dry heave. May I also do a dry heave with you? In metaphorical dry heave. Fountainhead is an Ayn Rand novel, so I'm not the biggest fan. So, and Seth says, yes, he likes Downton Abbey. He met top content producers, so I think that would... Remember we were talking about content creators? That doesn't matter. We'll get to that later. So, yeah, that's our community segment.
Nice. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Sean. All right, so let's get into the main topic for today's episode. So, recently in the news, and quite honestly, a lot before then, the film industry right now is really about cinematic universes. Mm-hmm. That's a really big staple right now. Marvel's been doing it for years and with a lot of success. DC's trying to catch up to them right now.
Yeah, we're between
Batman
two.
v Superman.
We're between
Batman
two.
v Superman.
We're on the verge of Civil War, and we're just off Batman v Superman. So we're right. Well, we're not quite right in the middle. That was the plan.
No.
Didn't happen.
Yeah. Nope. And along with that, there's been various announcements going on. Hanna-Barbera plans to make their own cinematic universe, starting with a Scooby-Doo film, which plans to come out in due time. And Ratchet and Clank also came out, and that was supposed to start like a universe,
with Sly
probably
Cooper.
of Sony franchises.
Jack and Daxter were seen in there a little bit, like there was a little cameo. So perhaps not, given the film's negative reception and poor box office debut. So that kind of sucks.
Wah, wah. And is there any other one I'm forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Weren't they gonna do? Was it just rumored that Nickelodeon? No, Nickelodeon was gonna do one. They were gonna bring back.
They're gonna do like a Nicktoons like team up movie, like
yeah.
So similar, not quite, but that's kind of like it.
It's in the same vein.
And
kinda.
King Arthur, that was one. Remember that one director? I can't remember his name. He's like trying to create this like King Arthur mythos with the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, and there was the monsters.
Oh
universe,
yeah,
like
Universal
Kong
Monsters.
and Godzilla was happening.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, studios are looking for following Marvel's lead, and this overall idea of various different locations and settings of characters and worlds coming together to form this one bombastic fanboy extravaganza is really big right now. And because we haven't done an episode of our favorite show on this on our little podcast for a while, we are going to do another SML Studios for you. But today we are going to try and tackle our own cinematic universe, specifically the Nintendo cinematic universe.
Yep.
Now, there is news that came out not too long ago that Nintendo was starting to reconsider putting their properties into movie form. There was no specific things about maybe like a universe, but there are so many possibilities regarding Nintendo. Specifically, we've seen the characters meet up before, and we figured because we're all big fans of Nintendo and we all have a lot of memories with them and are very passionate about the subject, we would try to tackle it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to do. This is going to be very freeform. We all have a lot of ideas. I say we're basically just going to kind of do a bit of a round table, throw out some of our big picture ideas first, and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
See if any of our ideas mesh, see if we don't like any of them, etc. Sean, because you said before we recorded you had a bit of a framework in mind, I would ask that you go first.
Okay, and this really is the only big idea I'm going to bring. Because I don't know Nintendo as well as you two. So, specific movies, I'm not going to care. I'm going to, pitch in and I'm going to give thoughts. But I think you guys are going to be better equipped to do that. I've played a bunch of Nintendo games. I have, a Game Boy and a 2DS. But, I'm not in the world like you two are. Especially Max. So, the big idea I had is... how it's structured, because right now, the only example we have some examples, and it's really the same. The only example we have is Marvel, and that's
right.
the individual movies, and then there's a team up, and then they go their separate ways again, then they team up, and then it goes separate ways, new introduced, they team up. DC is doing kind of the same thing. They're just rushing to the team up faster, and then it's going to break up, and we're going to get a Flash movie, an Aquaman. Wait, is Aquaman before? No, Aquaman's after Justice League.
Yeah.
All that. So they're kind of doing the exact same thing, because I'm sure that there'll be another Justice League movie after all their standalones and all that. So,
well, there's Justice League Part 1 and then Part 2.
Yeah.
So the Part 2's, I think, is coming after all the standalones.
Yeah, but it's filming back to back, so it can't be that far after. Otherwise, it's just kind of letting the film sit there for like 2 years. I don't know.
Oh my god, it's so confusing.
I know, it's a mess, and they just lost a director. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Anyway.
Shame.
Why does it have to be that way? And also, the idea that, like, we can keep this going forever, I don't know. Why don't we... let's humor the idea that we create this to be self-contained. At least for the time being. Now, I'm a huge fan of planning everything out way in advance and, like, having this game plan. I love that the MCU's been doing that, but let's just, for now, keep this small. So the idea I have is the pyramid structure. Now, hear me out. Instead of doing individual movies and then the full team up, I say we break that down into a few different steps. So let's just say there's some movies that we should do. I think Star Fox could make a good movie. Obviously, just some good aerial fighting, space adventure, whimsical animal characters. It would work.
We've already basically. I mean, it has that, like, those videos now with Star Fox Zero, and
right.
We're seeing all these videos. So yeah, it's very, very. It's a good, starting point.
Right, and these are just kind of examples, and it's not like we have to include these, and this isn't like all of them, but here's just to illustrate the principle. And then let's do Kid Icarus, fantasy. That's just kind of a fun adventure, but good fantasy element to it. Let's do Metroid. That's a great franchise. Got some lore. It's kind of creepy. But you still got your action. And then of course let's do Zelda, because obviously Zelda's you got to do Zelda. So you have these 4 movies, and there'll be more, or those won't be there, whatever. But the idea of my pyramid, how it's structured, is we don't jump to them all teamed up. Metroid and Star Fox get a movie. Zelda and Kid Icarus get a movie. We pair them up until they build to one. We build movies that match each other. So Metroid and Star Fox, they're space. And so tonally they're different, and that would be that's what you play with. But, like, how they'd meet up is, like, pretty simple, really. They're both doing space stuff. The plot could still be in space for both of them. So the same goes with, like, Kid Icarus, Zelda. Fantasy. Those worlds can combine in a plot pretty easily. Ganon can easily threaten what Kid Icarus is doing up with his angel stuff. I'm not that familiar with Kid Icarus, but you know what I mean? Like, the settings match.
Yes.
And so I think building it up to one. So phase 1 is our phase 1 would be all the movies, and then phase 2 is them paired up with each other, and then phase 3 could be like a movie leading up to the big team up, or 2. And we can kind of talk about that depending how we want it structured. But I like the idea of giving people pair ups. So
yeah, it's an interesting idea, because when I was thinking about structuring it, I realized that, like, okay, so I went in a very Smash Brothers approach, because that's kind of like the easy framework to go off of. Not necessarily story-wise, but just overall, like, how we introduce characters. So, like, I like the idea of, because I wanted to give all the different, worlds their own film to start off with, but I realized that you have, like, 10 films there. Or like 9 to 10 films that you have to establish. So, like, maybe leading up to a build-up, leading up to a team-up may not be the best idea, and I'm glad you could have sort of brought that up. I kind of like the idea of doing a bit more work to establish they're all connected in some way.
So do we start
and they're all sort of in
with
one
these
universe.
pair-ups? Is that what you're saying? Like, we start with Star Fox and...
No, I'm not saying... No, I'm not saying start with
Stairfax temperatures.
Stairfax temperatures. I'm not saying start with the pair-ups. I'm saying, I always believe that you should start with just the franchise. So, like, when we're looking at the main Smash Brothers characters, we start off with a Mario film, obviously.
Yeah, but I wonder if we should start with Zelda.
Oh, we can. I mean, we can start with Zelda. I'm saying,
may I actually chime in? Actually,
just give me a sec. I just want to just finish this. I was going to go to you in a sec. I just want to work off Sean's idea for a sec. And then, like, I'm not saying we don't have to start with anything, but, like, we have the Mario movie, the Zelda, the Kirby, the Star Fox, the Metroid, and then they get their own films, and then they combine after that.
Well, right, that's
and
what
I
I was
sort of
saying.
like that idea more.
Yeah.
But I would rather. But I guess we could sort of have Kid Icarus in there. But like his world. I mean, I didn't play Uprising. I didn't play that. But is that a developed world?
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
world,
I mean,
like,
it's a lot based on
in-depth?
Greek mythology. It really is Nintendo's Thor. Like, seriously.
Okay.
Like,
Right.
he's
That's
fighting
cool.
Medusa. Like, it's not even like there's, same thing.
I have good thought.
Yeah.
So Max, do your thing, but I'm going to hold this thought.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, Max, your idea. Please.
I didn't have much of a framework in mind. I just had I had a few restrictions. First being the first movie is Star Fox. Not just because the new game's out, for a few reasons. First one, you guys just agreed with me. You guys just said it would be a good idea. You just said.
Not first. I don't want it to be first.
I said it would be a good movie. I don't know if it would be first.
For a few reasons. One, yeah, you got a lot of like action set pieces basically built in. Two, because there's like there's already a pretty solid story framework. Fox losing his dad, going out for revenge, all that stuff. There's a lot of fun you can have with that.
True.
But three, because the series is known for interdimensional travel. Where do you think that would come in?
Then maybe that should be the last one before they start teaming up.
I would say that is referenced a little bit just to get people excited. The second thing I have in mind, absolutely no Mario movie. No Mario movie. Mario is in the universe, but he doesn't have a movie. Because not even a stretch. I couldn't even stretch to find a narrative in a Mario game. Or just like in a Mario movie. What you do have is a movie centered around, and I guess it's sort of borrowing from Star Wars, you have a movie centered around finding Mario. Like, if you guys ever played the Mario Tennis games, there's one called Power Tour.
Mario is missing the movie.
Well,
No, that's not what I mean. There's
what about this?
Hold on, let me finish.
Let him finish.
There's a Game Boy Advance game called.
Well, I just was making a joke. What? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
There's a game called Mario Tennis Power Tour, and in it you play as a tennis player, and the way the characters talk, and the Mario characters are already in there, but the way the characters talk about them, they mention them as like these legends, these celebrities, and they never actually say the names until you see Mario rise out of the pipe, and it's like, oh my god, it's Mario! I want this universe to treat them like that. There's no narrative. Like, maybe you can put Bowser in another movie, but finding Mario, maybe he's like the most powerful of like all these different mythical legends of Nintendo characters, something like that. And one of the movies is about that. But you stay away from Mario. Also, you put Zelda on hold. You take that property, you put it on hold. That is a very valuable thing, and you keep that. You do not start with it. You do not like even finish like a phase 1 with it. You keep it.
I disagree completely. I think Zelda has to be strong foot. So here's some thoughts before I forget.
Yeah, we got to bounce off some thoughts.
So here's what I was thinking before, and then I want to bounce off what something you said, Max, because I think you have an excellent idea with though Mario's missing. So the idea I had was, why do we have to do like these 10 movies? So let's go back to my original 4, just because those are the ones that kind of fit easiest in my mind. So my original 4 examples would be, why are we doing these 4 movies? The Star Fox movie, the Metroid movie, the Kid Icarus movie, the Zelda movie, and then they have movies where those two, like, they team up with each other. What about this? What if we have a Star Fox movie, and it's a Star Fox movie, just Star Fox, and then we have a Zelda movie, just Zelda, and then Star Fox 2, Metroid comes in. We build sequels become these team-up movies. And so the Star Fox franchise engulfs the Metroid franchise. So the Metroid is in that world. And then Zelda 2 is like, suddenly the whole angel mythology thing comes in, and then the Kid Icarus world is part of that sequel. What do you guys think of that idea?
I don't know. I don't feel that gives the other characters enough time. I feel
it's Black Widow. That's what kind of inspired me. Black Widow didn't get a movie. She came in Iron Man 2, and now she's a major player. Like, I think you can do Samus justice. Or you could flip it, and Max, I know you'd be upset by this, but you could flip it. You could do a Metroid movie, and then Star Fox comes in. But that's going to be a big tone shift. It'd probably be much easier the other way.
Well, I think, I could see that with Kid Icarus, with Zelda going into Kid Icarus, because Kid Icarus is
these are specifics. The concept as a whole.
I know, but I do want to breach a little bit into specifics, because a character like Samus is one of the big Nintendo,
I would say Metroid movie is absolutely on board. The only thing is,
guys, we're gonna get to this. We have to agree on how this is all gonna be laid out first.
Fine.
No
so
specifics.
I agree with your idea about the team. I agree with your idea of the team ups, and that some
and the
bigger
sequels
characters
the
can approach just smaller characters. That's a good idea. However,
I think
that we need to. Yeah, not all of them can engulf the bigger stories.
I think most of them should, and I think we can work in getting, like, we basically make trilogies, and we put the franchises into the second movie and then the third movie, and so we build it up. But, before I forget, Max, you were talking about Mario's Missing. That's the Avengers.
No, that's not what I... Okay, that was Larry's thing. No, what I'm talking about is just...
That's the Avengers. We do hold off on Mario. Mario doesn't get a movie. I say we... Okay, remember... Okay, Max, we were in Disneyland, that light show. Like, the plot of the light show was that all the Disney villains are going after Mickey.
Yeah, so I think that was the... I couldn't tell.
What if this is a reverse Avengers, where all the villains are being recruited throughout these movies, and Mario is the one that can stop them, and so the Avengers is basically them all coming together. The
Sinister
Avengers,
Six, sort of.
They're all coming together to find Mario. So Mario basically comes in for the climax to help them save the day. He's like the missing key.
Yeah, because if you ever see Mario in battle, like, that guy can throw guys around like nobody's business.
Now, I would like to just bring up that although that is a great idea, and I like that idea, Max, you can absolutely make a good narrative out of a Mario film. You can make a good narrative in any idea.
No, that I agree with, but honestly, if we don't want to, like, betray how these games are designed, even more so than we already are by turning them into movies, I think Mario is something that you keep as, like, kind of its own... I don't want to say meta, but sort of like its own commodity. Like, not only do we want to see Mario, the characters in the movies, they want to find Mario too. So,
okay, yeah,
maybe
but
he's not missing, but they have to go find him.
I know. I just think it's a bad idea to dismiss the idea that you can't make a good narrative out of a Mario movie. I think that it can be done. It just takes some extra thought.
You'd have to stretch.
Now, I just realized something that we could also keep in mind in terms of franchises. This franchise we haven't mentioned yet, but has actually become one of, like, a hot commodity for Nintendo. They even announced this. Guys, why are we trying to do Kid Icarus and Zelda when we can do Fire Emblem and Zelda? Hello?
Well, I think... here's the thing. I thought of that. Fire Emblem is too big.
Too big?
Yeah.
You think so?
It's like... Yeah, because... Okay, here's what you'd have to do. Okay, here's how you could do it if the third Zelda movie... Some Fire Emblem characters come in, but you could not do a Fire Emblem movie that leads to this team up.
Oh, no. I was thinking maybe like a versus kind of thing. Like,
okay, because there's so many characters that, like,
true.
You'd basically create this massive world and, like, my goodness, that was so rich with fantasy, and then, like, 3 people show up for the team up and the rest are left behind.
Now, there is another possibility I was thinking about, and that is, this is a bit of a stretch because I know we're focusing on movies, but I think Fire Emblem could totally do the whole Netflix thing. I think that'd be, like... And I mean, yeah, it would basically be Nintendo trying to pull off Game of Thrones. But you know what? Whatever. That's just how things are right now.
There are worse things to be.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I don't think we should do the TV. Okay, maybe we consider the TV thing, but I think right now we should talk about the structure. Do we like this idea of kind of getting these pillars and using sequels to bring in the franchises that build up to one team up?
Yeah.
And that's all we're going to set up for now.
I would like to sort of stretch this out.
It's just very character dependent.
I would like to see this a bit stretched out, sort of. Not like super long, but like... See, what I've always wanted to see in Marvel movies are like 2 secondary characters teaming up, like Falcon and Black Widow. That would be awesome. That would be great. We also, like, that's what I want to see in this.
Okay,
we don't go for, like, pairs. We go for trios, too. And it gets to the point where maybe these 2 sides doing different conflicts in different, universes in the Nintendo Cinematic Multiverse or whatever, then they sort of face off. I just don't want to do Smash Brothers, though. Like, that's just... but I also don't want to do Civil War. Like, I don't really... Like, Smash Brothers... I love the games to death, but they are games, and anytime they try a story, it usually does not make any sense. So, Subspace, don't even try, Larry. I love Subspace, but it did not make a single lick of sense.
Guys, I don't care. Guys, we can't just argue about the games here. We got to move forward with the movie. So, is that our format?
Okay, well...
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with the pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's a good format.
Then I think we should start listing potential, like, the IPs we want movies for.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
So, Mario is out. I say Zelda.
Sadly.
Okay, yeah. It's just...
It's too good. That's how, you have to open with something people know. There's already a lore. Those games actually have been, complimented for their story, unlike Mario games.
Such a great lore.
Alright, here's the thing. Zelda's kind of tricky, because its narrative is definitely there, but it really is more of a framework for the game that you're playing. Now, the only... one of the few exceptions to that is Skyward Sword, which I would think is a super cool idea to do, The only thing is it involves time travel, and we really don't want to overcomplicate this universe already.
Yeah. See, I was thinking we would do Ocarina of Time.
Well,
we were going to take a Zelda movie.
That would also be very like we would want to do something very straightforward for a Zelda movie. That would be like, let's not get into too much specifics, but I would say maybe something like, let's see, if we want to stay in the tone. I mean, Twilight Princess has always been referred to as the Christopher Nolan reboot Zelda game. I mean,
I know, and
I wouldn't ask for it to be
so
dark,
bad
but
because of that.
What?
I wanted to play it so bad because I've heard that phrase used, and I've played it a bit, but not fully. I really want to play Twilight Princess.
I mean, I wouldn't say go for like the dark approach, but it does include Link, Zelda, Ganondorf. It's got all your players right there.
Well, like, my question is, are we trying to stick to the Zelda lore as much as possible? Like,
no, but we want to find like some kind of like just good structure. Like Civil War doesn't follow the Civil War comic, but it's still got a simple idea. Twilight Princess is the idea that Hyrule's already in trouble, and Link's like, oh, I gotta go save it right now, instead of a conflict kind of brewing as it's going along, like an Ocarina of Time. I'm on a Zelda
move faster than this.
Yeah,
we have to make a list and then actually talk about the list. So,
okay,
Zelda.
Definitely Star Fox.
Yes, Kid Icarus I think is cool. Star Fox and Metroid.
Yeah, Kid Icarus I think is good. Yeah, Star Fox and Metroid. Your four were pretty good as a
I thought so too.
It would be pretty difficult just because Samus is a silent character. Don't tell me otherwise, but it's
okay. Actually, no, that would fit. That could work really well with the like chattering.
Oh no, it could. I've wanted to direct a Metroid movie my whole life. Like that's how much I want this Metroid movie.
But you got that short film, Max.
No, it's terrible. No, don't do it.
I know. I remember you brought it up. That's why I said it. What are some other IPs? Like, I mean, kind of elephant in the room. Are we going Pokemon?
Oh, see, it's weird because Pokemon has always been sort of like its own entity, its own like institution. So you could totally incorporate it, but there's so much.
That feels like the Inhumans movie. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's like no. That's why I'm glad the X-Men don't belong to the MCU actually, because it's like that's a whole world. Like Spider-Man has like a huge rogues gallery, and that's fine. Like you can bring them in, whatever. And the Fantastic Four are just the four. But like the X-Men are like this massive cast. Like that would feel so weird. So maybe we do drop Pokemon.
We give Pokemon rights to DreamWorks Animation because How to Train Your Dragon 2 proved you could pull that off. We give Pokemon to an animation studio.
I don't know if it had a better plot structure. But,
I'm just talking about battles and stuff.
I know. Yeah, no, it did look good. So, okay. Pokemon's out then. I think we agree. It's complicated.
Or maybe the rights are sort of like shared, like there are little references here and there just to like entice fans because there's a huge fan. Like you guys know right now that there are like 3 studios battling for Pokemon live action movie rights right now. Like
I don't. Yeah. So
I've heard about it. It's intense.
Let's say Pokemon's a maybe. What are others? Like I think Fire Emblem we should definitely keep in consideration for some characters to bring in.
Let's see, Kirby would probably put away. Like I love Kirby, but it's not really like
Kirby doesn't need its own film.
It would be like it would be kind of like the anime or something like that. It would probably be another Netflix show. If anything.
I'd say that.
Pikmin.
I'm gonna.
I was gonna talk about Pikmin.
What about Earthbound?
Yeah, I don't know
would
enough
also be a pretty good one.
Earthbound. I would. That's
the
really
story
tough
is
for me,
pretty
though.
rich.
Yeah,
but it would work. It could work, and the story is there. Like it's there.
Do you want to put down Earthbound?
That would probably be the next one. Yeah,
I think
so. I would
because
put down Earthbound.
Okay,
there's a lot you can do with that.
Okay, now here's where there are some issues here. There are Captain Falcon, but F-Zero. That feels like a very one-off.
That would be a team-up story. That would be something that would be Captain Falcon would come into like a team-up movie, and it would become like a trio. Like how it would
like
work.
I wouldn't be surprised if like Star Fox like sort of meshed with because like Star Fox and Captain Falcon are both very vehicular in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but that
would be the only thing I would connect.
Here's the problem: Captain Falcon doesn't really have a personality. He's the only reason.
That's true. Well,
no.
Hold on, let me finish, guys. Let me finish. The only reason why he's such a huge popular character is because of Smash Brothers and all of his moves completely from Smash. So, just for the record, the source material for F-Zero is just a racing series. That's the problem. There's not really a story, it's just a racing series.
Well, F-Zero GX had a little bit of a story, and I think if you play around with the lore of the series, you can create something. You can create it, give him a personality. Again, we're making movies. You know, we can make some new stuff. We don't have to follow it.
I'm also worried that Captain
team.
Falcon would turn into somebody that is not the Captain Falcon that we know and love, and I just don't know if I could live with myself if I pitched that.
Okay, well, the Captain Falcon you know and love is apparently a guy with not much personality.
It's true. Like that's why I would want him in like a trio, like as a secondary character or a third area.
And you know what? Honestly, guys, the more I
come.
think about it, I think a lot of these characters can come in specifically for the Avengers or whatever
Yeah,
we call
yeah,
it.
exactly.
So like Kirby can come in.
Yep.
So yeah, let's
Little
say
Mac.
F-Zero too. F-Zero comes in.
Man, well, look,
Okay,
Larry,
now-
look up more Nintendo franchise. Okay, Donkey Kong. What are we gonna do with him?
Okay,
I was gonna- yeah, Donkey Kong.
Okay, so I'm looking at some of the things right now. Here's so we have a lot of big franchises where only like one character is in the Smash, lore. So we have people like Little Mac and Punch Out. We have people like Mega Man, Ryu from Street Fighter.
Those are
Bayonetta.
Capcom, and that's iffy. We
Yeah,
don't really
no,
want to
They're
go
very-
into
but they're very large franchises. That's the thing. We need to like
No,
Yeah,
but
but
this
they're
is
not
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
sort of manipulate. Yeah, but that's true.
Yeah, like,
Well-
that would also mean that we could also do a Final Fantasy VII movie, and we can't make this even more complicated.
We're
That'd
not-
be
we're
ridiculous.
Well, I mean, Punch Out is feasible.
Punch Out
Punch-Out's a Nintendo
is
property.
yes. I love me some Little Mac. We could do that. But that would also mean that we'd have to sort of ground this universe on Earth because Punch Out is a story in New York, for the record.
Well, yeah, we can make that totally work. It's basically the Rocky of this
It is,
franchise
yeah.
or whatever. Besides for that, I think Pikmin's a viable thing to add. If we haven't already added because I think there's a really good story there, and space too. We
Yeah,
can
that
sort
could
of mesh
easily
that
be-
with
Stranger in a
Metroid
Strange
and
Land.
stuff.
That could easily
Huh?
mesh with our Star Fox Metroid build.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
Well, look, Larry, you
and
have that
then-
second monitor. Look up other Nintendo franchises. What are you looking
Yeah, I'm
at?
going through the
I'm
Smash 4
looking-
roster right now on my
I'm looking.
2DS, and that's about it. I mean, Sonic definitely gets a cameo in the Avengers,
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah.
but
The
doesn't
only,
get a
I mean,
movie.
my question is, if we're using Donkey Kong, like, what exactly are we using him? Like, are we really giving him his own separate? Are we really, establishing that other separate Donkey Kong universe into this whole thing?
That's
You have to do
difficult.
stuff with that too.
I mean, and Mario could be stuck. Like Mario and Donkey Kong, that's a great combo. So
Exactly. Like, yeah.
that could be like Donkey Kong could be the springboard into that somehow. So let's keep Donkey Kong there, and I think we're actually done with this list. Can you guys think of any more like obscure Nintendo? Because if it's too obscure, I don't think we should go for it.
Yeah, I'm just
So I
like
think
I'm
we're
trying
almost
to
done.
think through like all the franchise. I can't find any. Oh yeah, I have my cartridge Nintendo games right here. Just like let's see. No, I think we've got everything.
Those are really the main
Nah,
ones.
Who
Yeah.
cares, Betsy?
Nah.
Shulk will show up like in like crossover movie. Yeah, whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh,
Those are the real key
I will.
ones.
I will approve all this if we have a Chibi Robo cameo somewhere in there because I love me some Chibi Robo.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
I just want him in there.
So guys, we're not going to feel obligated to do like something like Splatoon, please. It's just not.
no.
Gonna,
I mean, there's not
It's
much.
it's still
there's
brand
not much
new and it's like
there.
I mean there is lore to it, but it's we're talking classics.
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah.
Maybe in like phase 7 or whatever. We decide.
Also, I think the Duck Hunt dog deserves some sort of cameo.
Yeah,
let's
we'll have
assume
some-
that-
We gotta put that down.
Let's assume
put
that you know what. Let's talk about this Avengers movie. Hey, we need a better name, obviously.
Yeah.
What if we steal the plot
well.
of Smash a little bit, and all these characters are like locked away as trophies by the villains,
Oh,
and so we
by
get all
Master
these
Hand.
cameos. So boom, out comes Sonic. Boom, out comes Shulk. The Splatoon Squid Kids for the final battle. Like everyone gets popped out.
Well, I mean,
Post
yeah,
credits.
like, that's
Hold
sort
on,
of the
hold on.
idea
I got
with-
you. Post credit scene in one of these movies. A popular villain, is defeated. Then he's like, I'll just be back. And then all of a sudden, turn into trophy. Bam. Cut to black. Fans go nuts because that's the big announcement.
That's the Smash. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so the villain,
okay.
I guess, would be Master Hand. I guess if we're thinking about the
Ooh,
villain.
that's
of
not
the
Yeah,
bad.
Master and
film.
Crazy Hand.
And you see, the thing about Master Hand that's always sort of fascinated me is that Master Hand. I did a little bit of research, and Master Hand is basically like the connection between like the Nintendo universe and
my
the
God.
outside world. So it's fascinating to sort of play with those elements a little bit of like the
So
real
these
world sort
Nintendo
of
group movies will become
communicating.
as meta as the Marvel group movies,
Oh yeah.
basically.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying we pull like a Lego movie kind of ending.
No,
or
but
something,
like, you know how
like,
how the Avengers movies are very meta, right? Very self-aware.
Yeah. Joss
Well,
Whedon
yes.
kind of can't help himself. I think
yes,
it's good.
but
I
I
don't
like
mean
the
that negatively.
idea. I like the idea of Master Hand sort of symbolizing like this sort
Pulling
of
the
outside
strings,
interference.
literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be a good idea.
So I think what we need to do now is talk about what are the pillars that we're going to build. I think Star Fox is one of the pillars.
Yeah,
Star Fox is a pillar.
Big galaxy,
Definitely a pillar.
multidimensional traveling. You got tons of planets. It's just, here's the thing: do we want all the planets to be in the same galaxy, or do you want this to be like a multiverse?
No, this is a multiverse thing. This is people getting sucked into different realities and who are you? And they team up to save all of them at once.
So it's really the Nintendo Cinematic Multiverse, the NCM.
Yeah, but
basically,
yeah. Okay, Larry. I think we
discussed.
I think we outvote Max. I think Zelda has to be a pillar.
Oh yeah, Zelda is absolutely a pillar.
Max, are you okay with that?
Zelda.
I mean, I would just say it's its own thing. It's such a treasured franchise, even more so than.
Yes, we'll be careful with Zelda lore. Don't worry.
Not even careful with Zelda lore, just careful with Zelda. If you screw that up, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh,
okay.
boy.
Well, I mean, we're not actually making.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying,
but
Max, this is podcast. Is podcast?
Yeah.
Max? Yeah. So.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying if you screw that up, man, there will be no going back. The fans will never trust you again. That's just...
Okay, well, we're not actually... Whatever. Okay, so, Zelda, pillar, Kid Icarus, attachment to that pillar,
so
Fire Emblem, we discussed.
I think Kid Icarus could be its own pillar. I really do.
No. It's too similar.
I don't think so.
And it's just kind of... It's something that can't pair with anything else. They just kind of have to be together, and Zelda's going to overwhelm that in a heartbeat. Zelda
it's true. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. So that's the logic I was going with. So right now, here's
here's my question. So Star Fox, right? Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
What's the third? Are we thinking maybe
Pikmin.
Yeah, I'm thinking Pikmin because there's space travel in Pikmin. And that would be the closest thing I could think of.
Or do
it would be so interesting to me
second? So it's like Star Fox Doing Adventures, and then it would honestly kind of be Star Fox Temperatures, where they find the planet with Pikmin and have to help out the Pikmin with their space battle.
Yeah, or there's another option. There's another option that also deals with space travel and stuff. There's Earthbound. That's entirely possible too.
I don't know about Earthbound, so you guys kind of have to help me with that.
Oh, it's basically the closest. Okay, to be completely fair, it's basically the closest thing Nintendo has ever gotten to making a Pixar game. A very it's got a children's outset with a lot of adult themes thrown in there too. That's basically how it is. That's basically how the game is. There's a lot of psychic powers, and the main villain is from space, and there's a bit of time travel from the future, but it's not crazy. It's very much high concept sci-fi set in a modern day setting.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's and I feel I don't know if it's not a pillar, but it could definitely. Characters can definitely interact with that kind of... The universe is so wacky and zany that you can, a lot of weird stuff can happen, But, yeah, I kind of like the idea of, Star Fox just sort of runs into the Pikmin planet, and then the next one, Star Fox falls into the Metroid, wherever Metroid takes place, the planet.
Samus comes in.
And then you'd introduce
Samus.
I also love the idea... of, a character like Star Fox and a character like Olimar cooperating in a movie. They're they're so different. And I guess that would be a good 3.
And here's an idea I have. So what we do is we take Pokemon, we put it in a pillar, but it's not in the pyramid, right? It's gonna keep it there, kind of doing its own thing, right? And then in another post-credit scene or mid-credit or whatever, all of a sudden they become part of the universe. It's complete bait and switch. Nintendo announces, no, Pokemon's gonna be its own stories and stuff, but they never really say it's gonna be away from the cinematic universe, and then bam, there they are. So we still do Pokemon movies, but they're completely standalone, and we keep it that way until the big group movie, so they can be a part of it anyway.
Yeah.
So they don't have to be team up stuff.
Part of me is imagining the post-credit scene for the Pikmin movie is they find a Smash Ball as a junk. It's one of the pieces of junk. Not a Smash Ball, a Pokeball.
Oh,
a piece of junk, and then suddenly it's
God. We know how to appease fans, huh?
Yeah.
So right now, guys, we have the two pillars. So let's back up. So right now, what we've got is Pillar 1 is Star Fox, and then the sequel, it's Star Fox and Pikmin. Mm-hmm. Right? They kind of discover this planet, and then the third is Star Fox plus Pikmin plus Metroid.
Cool.
Okay. And then the Pillar 2 is Zelda. And I think that should be our first film, but Max is we're gonna debate about that, don't worry. And then the sequel to that is Zelda plus Kid Icarus, and then the third is Zelda, Kid Icarus, and then Fire Emblem comes roaring on in.
Cool.
So right now,
let's see, what do we have left?
Right, the properties we have left. We have Earthbound left, we have Donkey Kong left. We have F-Zero, Punch-Out, Kirby, Pokemon. Those are the things that we like considered and stuff.
So here's the thing with our 2 pillars so far. We have pillars that are very much based in warfare, like Kid Icarus and Zelda and Fire Emblem, all of which based around like a war or many wars in Zelda's case. And then in the other room we have space, science fiction stuff, Metroid, Star Fox, and Pikmin.
Basically, it's sci-fi.
These
fantasy.
other characters, Pikachu, Donkey Kong, Kirby, Ness, they're kind of all like Pikachu, Kirby, and Ness are kind of like a trio in like Smash lore, as like sort of very juvenile,
childish, cutesy characters.
The third pillar, that's its theme.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
okay. So I would suggest you
space,
start it
war,
off with,
and juvenility.
I would suggest you start off with Ness. That would, and I said originally Ness wouldn't be a pillar, but Ness has the most story, in which it should be the start.
But isn't Earthbound really big? Like,
it is
overly complicated.
I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's complicated, but it is big. It's like
does Earthbound ever deal with like different dimensions theoretically?
No, let's see. Well, no, it's just space. It's space. I mean, you could, or to be fair, the most intimidating villain Nintendo's probably ever created is the main villain from Earthbound. So he could be the main villain of the team-up movie. Like that.
Because I'm wondering if Earthbound is our way to kind of jump into the team-up movie.
Well, I thought that was Star Fox.
So sort of combine all of them.
Because Star Fox is absolutely dimensional in your travel. There's even a theory that Fox's dad did not die. He actually like went into another dimension, and he's just kind of a being of interdimensional travel at this point. Like that's how
Did we just kind of do we change the pyramid? Does Earthbound start our sci-fi? And then Pikmin comes into Earthbound and then Metroid. Because I don't want Star Fox to have a pillar, and then that pillar just like we're Earthbound can't get a movie in this current setup otherwise.
You know what?
Well, I thought Earthbound would make sense. That Earthbound, you sort of start from Earthbound, and you're jumping dimension.
I take it back. So we introduce Earthbound in its central villain Gygus, who is literally so powerful at some points you were just like you are like. The game tells you are overwhelmed by his power. We take him and we put him as the central villain of the team-up movie because he is basically Thanos. He is Thanos. Like they're like look him up.
We gotta do Master Hand.
Oh,
yeah, but Master Hand.
Dang, that's right. Never mind.
And Mario being missing, maybe you could capture Mario, but
okay. Here's my idea for it. So Earthbound is dimension travel, right? So it seems pretty feasible that, Ness is exploring around and he somehow approaches Dreamland.
Oh yeah, Popstar.
And because Ness and Kirby are so similar in a lot of ways, they would get along. But here's the thing: I don't think this would be a trilogy pillar because I don't know Pokemon. I mean, I agree Ness kind of does look like a Pokemon trainer, but it's not really like I don't think it would fit in as well. And plus, it's very vast. So Pokemon would be its own side pillar on its own. But Kirby and Ness would just sort of be that, and then Ness would go to space.
Can I quickly
and then space would meet.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was
just gonna say, and then Ness meets with Star Fox in space, and that's how you connect those two together.
Like, I'm just picturing the games, and picturing like the tone and in Smash how the characters are drawn. It seems so easy to pair up Kirby and Donkey Kong.
Really? You think so?
I don't know, doesn't it?
I don't think I totally disagree with that.
They're cartoonish. They're both very bright. They're like jumping around. Well, of course, they're both platformers, but like they're bouncy characters. They're both pretty whimsical in different ways. But I think a good mix.
But here's my question. We didn't talk about Yoshi.
Oh, it's true. Yoshi is his own franchise.
Now, here's my idea, right? So Donkey Kong and Yoshi sort of are spin-offs of the Mario universe. They have their own lore and stuff, but like Yoshi is very good friends with Mario, right? So if Mario's quote-unquote missing, we could sort of have another pillar with Donkey Kong and Yoshi.
I know
Yoshi's looking for Mario. Yoshi's looking for Mario.
Okay.
Donkey Kong also is going to look for Mario.
Donkey Kong and Yoshi? That seems very plausible to me.
I think we just got it. So I think those three all fit together. So I think we have to. I think we need to. Yoshi should be the last one because I think Yoshi that movie is actually our lead up into the team. That's our team
a good point.
up.
Because he knows Mario better than anybody.
So if that's the third in the pillar, what starts it? Do we start with a DK or a Kirby movie? I would vote DK.
I would vote DK too, honestly. I mean, because at the same time, though, you could make a great comedy out of Kirby, like Meta Knight being super like dark and like sort of like angsty, and Kirby's like, whatever, man.
Okay,
like you can make a great comedy.
Here's my problem with combining Kirby and like DK. Like I know they're similar in like art style, but like I just don't see how Kirby could make his way into the Mario universe. Kirby hasn't really established any sort of travel.
Yeah, he does. You play the games?
Yeah, he has the.
He travels all around space.
Yeah, he has the star.
He faces the sun and the moon at one point. Like that's his thing. Like Kirby is
okay, but so what happens? He just flies and randomly lands in Jungle Jade.
No, Master Hand is pulling the strings behind all this. So all like happenstance, we get to kind of say Master Hand's doing it.
Master Hand, he's like Spectre, except he doesn't suck.
Are we cutting Earthbound? Are we going to cut Earthbound? Because without Kirby, the pillar is gone.
Yeah.
For right now.
Okay.
Do you think this is how the meeting for Marvel Studios went like 8 years ago? Like,
Probably.
okay, we have Iron Man. Do we have Iron Man team up with Hulk, or like do Hulk does like it's like, geez, dang.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so we'll then start with the Kirby movie. Start with Kirby. Then Kirby makes his way into the Mario universe with DK, and then we introduce Yoshi. And the Yoshi movie's like the Where's Mario. And then that sort of is the big lead up. Now the question is, how do all three pillars now?
Yeah, we just have 3.
How do those 3 pillars combine?
Who is the set? Okay,
question.
Master Hand is, but we gotta have like, you know, I want this universe, this cinematic multiverse, though it doesn't exist. I want to have better like villains, like presence, or a better presence of villains. Like, how are we?
You're
okay,
the guy who said that.
Fine.
Kirby
We take Mario out of the picture, but we gotta have Bowser in there somewhere. We gotta have him. Like, how are we gonna do that?
Bowser's here somewhere. Bowser could be like basically Master Hand's dragon. Mm-hmm. You guys know that expression.
That's kind of how like it
right?
works in subspace.
But he literally is a dragon. But like, when that makes sense at the final movie, he's like, oh, of course, Bowser's the villain. Then it turns out, no, behind the scenes, it was Master Hand the whole time.
Yeah. There is another thing I'd like to do with this regarding Zelda real quick, is that you do not have Ganondorf as a central villain. Because Ganondorf is so good, you do not waste that. There are other Zelda villains. There's Vati, the wizard, who can do crazy stuff. And actually a lot of his games are very much like standalone, like you don't have to do like time travel.
Okay, so how about Ganondorf isn't the central villain? He's kind of the Thanos of the Zelda universe. The villains answer to him.
Yeah.
Ganondorf answers to Bowser.
Wait, Sean's got something.
Bowser answers to Master
I do have
Hand.
something. Oh my goodness. It all kind of fit in my head. Okay, Earthbound, right? It's sci-fi, right? It's got like space travel and all that. But I know that isn't there some magic stuff?
It's all psychic powers.
Right, so psychic, kind of magic-y. It's an RPG. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So that is like some fantasy vibe to it you can fit in there. And also, what is Ness? What is Lucas? They're kids. Earthbound is where they all come together. Earthbound is when it starts. Earthbound is
so
the
Ness
choke
can sort
point.
of see all these different dimensions.
I think it was, sort of. And like that's where Master Hand is, and like, I mean, oh man, then we save Gygas for another time. We just because that villain is so good, you won't want to waste him. But
Gygas
we'll see.
Gygas
why
is
not?
Huge.
Because that's basically a half team up movie. He's gonna bring in everyone, kind of. And like we need to work out how it's done. But this is a choke point where everyone kind of funnels into the Earthbound movie, because I think the direct follow up to the Earthbound movie is the team up.
Yeah. Okay.
So why not Gygas? Is that the same?
Yeah, Gygas. Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, so Gygas would be... So there's an Earthbound movie where Ness is sort of introduced to all these different dimensions that are happening, and he sees all these different dimensions that are, like, working together. Maybe there's, like, a side plot about how, like, dimension fields are being disrupted because all these different characters are meeting up together.
Yeah.
And then Ness sort of... The Gygas is the main villain of this Earthbound film, but he realizes he can't do it alone, and he realizes these guys are already teaming up already, so he uses some, magical power, psychic power, to bring them all together, fight Gygas, take him down, and then
the big plan is revealed that it's Bowser. And that's the fake reveal that's going to be the big villain.
And then Yoshi has knows about Bowser and the whole like where's Mario plan. They also realize that Mario's the big guy.
So we have to come up with some plot. Actually, Bowser should be the villain of that movie.
Well, no. What I'm saying is like I'm not saying it's like a big aspect of it. I'm saying that when all of them are together, Yoshi just kind of mentions, oh, well, Mario could probably stop this.
Now, there is
and then they all realize we got to find Mario.
There's also the possibility that the way we treat villains could sort of be like a tiered system. Like, if we have 3 different pillars, if each of them, like, team up to, and then we have them, like, we have the third. Okay, so we have 3 movies for each of these 3 pillars. Am I right? Like, am I right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So far, yes.
Yeah, so-
and then Earthbound has its own little side pillar.
So I guess
So
the
it's
Zelda
one
movie, the third Zelda movie, which will have Kid Icarus and Fire Emblem, that's Ganondorf. That is the thing. Like that, you know.
yeah.
Yeah. Then for
Yeah.
Yoshi and what is it? DK and Kirby?
DK.
Is that right? Is that what
That's
we agreed on?
Bowser.
That's Bowser. And
Yep,
then
that's
for
Bowser.
Star Fox, Metroid, and Pikmin, like
We can. It's either
That's-
Andros or Ridley.
no, Android would be good for
yeah,
Star
they're
Fox,
going
like for
Andros.
the first Star Fox movie. We like Metroid. That would probably be
Ridley?
like Mother Brain, Cray,
Ridley?
any of those guys.
Mother Brain.
Or
Mother
Ridley.
Brain.
Hey, Ridley.
Yeah.
Like
Both Ridley and Mother Brain. As soon as Metroid comes in, Metroid brings enough threats with her that she should get the villains of the third movie.
No, but I don't want to. Let's not combine them. I think they're enough of a threat on their own, both of
well,
them.
Metroid.
You know,
Well,
either
okay,
you-
Ridley, Cray, and Mother Brain are they're like a trio of villains on their own. Like that's just like how it's always been designed.
Yeah, but I'd rather if we're gonna move forward, I'd rather Ridley come up in a different time. So we
It's
have
true
another
too because you don't
villain
want to
use
waste
if the
Ridley.
universe is going
He's
forward.
great.
Right.
Okay,
so
how about
use
this?
Mother Brain.
What if we treat Ridley as like Master Hand's scout, and so
Yeah,
Ridley's
yeah.
flying through these movies every once in a while, like jumping between
Yeah.
the universes, seeing how this is all going. Ridley's
Like, he is a
Ridley
freaking
fetching
dragon.
the trophies. Yeah, Ridley's the one fetching the trophies of the villains to bring to Master Hand to be used.
Oh,
Yeah?
and that leads us to the big climax of this whole thing. In the team-up movie, the big twist is that none of the villains died. They're trophies, and it combines into this huge battle in the
Yes.
final act, which would
Okay.
be, yeah.
Yeah, like
Guys?
I sort of like the idea of Master Hand pulling all the strings and connecting all these villains together, and they're all sort of a part of this huge plot. So that
We
would
just
be a
did
good
it.
way to connect them all. Also,
I love this.
Yeah, we did it.
We need to talk schedule.
Okay, all right. This
Yeah,
is
and villains at the same time. I think so. The biggest thing, like the first battle, do you start with Star Fox? Do you start with Zelda? I can see both. I'm actually kind of leaning more towards Star Fox a little.
yeah.
I
think just because
it depends on what aspect you
Star
want to go
Fox
for.
has something that Zelda does not, and has a cast of characters that are all defined by a very basic personality. Zelda really doesn't. It's got Link. It's got Zelda. Who else are you really going to name? Like Saria? I mean, yeah, you could do that, but
I guess
Star Fox
there's
has four.
also-
No,
I mean-
at least
Well,
four
then, okay,
characters that you can.
When you're talking
yeah.
about cast of characters, when you're talking about Zelda cast of characters, a lot of it depends on the game
That's
that
true.
you're basing it off of. Mm-hmm. So if you're going off of like Majora's Mask, there's a great cast of characters from there.
Right, okay,
If you're going off of something like-
guys. We can't get too sucked up to the details here. I think
Yeah.
we need to hit the broad strokes. I say we start with Star Fox. I actually come around to Max. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first
Post-
Post-credit,
I
and the
don't- I
post-credit
guess so,
scene is
yeah.
that Andros is defeated, and they find some files of like interdimensional travel, and it says something like
Yeah.
Hyrule or something like that, something crazy.
especially
Hyrule, that's weird.
because Star Fox does interdimensional. That will start them out. So the first film is Star Fox, and who's the villain?
Andros.
Andros. Okay.
But like a lower form of Andros, like like not his
I
full
really
form.
don't care about the specifics. We gotta
Yeah.
just hit these broad strokes so we know like the concepts. Okay.
Well,
the second movie is The Legend of Zelda. Who's the villain?
I want to okay, just because like again, this is difficult because Ganondorf is like the Zelda villain. I would say like Vati, who's like secondary. He's
Who's
a
Vati?
wizard. He's powerful. He can turn into many different forms.
What
and,
game?
huh?
What game?
Four Swords Adventures. The Minish
That's what I
Cap.
was saying. What game? That way we know what villain we're basing
Yeah.
it off. If we're gonna take that villain, are we taking that game?
We could like Link splitting himself into four different characters. That would make for like a fun story about identity.
No.
and stuff. Like,
No. That's not how you start Zelda. No, come
No.
on. You start Zelda with Link as Link. You don't split him into four. That's way
Well,
too
like,
abstract.
I was
And it's too
thinking- Okay.
cartoonish. The tone doesn't work.
I was
We're
thinking,
doing a
like,
fantasy
I
tone.
kind of like.
Or hold on,
kinda
I mean,
like
okay. There,
Dark Link.
There's that too.
what about Dark Link?
Dark Link is a good example. There is also Demise, who is like Ganondorf on steroids. He's
Okay. So let's not use Demise.
Yeah.
How about we take Adventure of Link and we use Dark Link?
Dark Link is not bad. I like that.
Dark, and I
It's
mean,
kind of
there's a
cop
cool
out,
idea
though,
of
wouldn't you
fighting.
say? Like,
Of
it's like nigga
no,
Scott.
it's like I like. No, it's like it's sort of like fighting the idea of like you can play a lot thematically about
Yeah.
fighting your former self and your shadow and stuff like that. And Dark Link's pretty cool. You could do some cool effect stuff with
Okay,
that.
I,
mean,
think
yeah.
let's pencil in Dark Link for now. Maybe if we come up with like if something comes up, we can switch out. But I think for right now,
Right. Well, I mean, you don't want to use Ganondorf yet, and you want to
Yeah.
go with something a little smaller. And Vati's a little too much, so you just Dark Link.
okay. So Legend of Zelda
Seems most feasible.
is Dark Link. And does that tie?
We sort of base it on Adventure of Link, kind of.
Sure, kind of.
Take
I
the
don't think that's
basic,
the most
the
popular
basic.
game I want to do.
It's not the most popular, but we take the basic points of the game. We don't have to take every specific thing.
And then the third would be Kirby. Of course.
Kirby.
Because this is our phase one.
Nightmare. Literally Nightmare. Nightmare is awesome.
Yeah, Nightmare,
Come on.
I guess.
Like,
I'm wondering what's Day is doing.
He's like a supporting character. He's like a sort of bad guy, but as it turns out in the original game, he was actually doing all the bad stuff to keep Nightmare from taking over everything.
Right.
Nightmare's like look him up. He's the real deal. This guy's awesome.
Nightmare.
Yeah,
okay.
I would say Nightmare. Plus, I don't think you're really going to go back to Dreamland anytime soon after this team up starts happening. So
now it's the fourth film. I think we can just kind of do this in a pretty regular cycle. So now we're doing Star Fox plus Pikmin.
I mean, who is the villain in Pikmin though? Giant bugs?
I think that's hard.
Yeah. This is kind of up to you guys. Pikmin doesn't really have a villain, so is there another Star Fox villain that would be trying to hurt Pikmin or doing something?
Yeah, there are a few ones from that. I mean, you could have
Wolf?
To be fair, what the Andros doesn't necessarily mean that you have to use Starwolf though. You could use Starwolf in the Pikmin story. You know?
Yeah, Starwolf is a good character to sort of intervene with, because Pikmin doesn't have a villain, so the Pikmin are just doing whatever, and then Wolf is terrorizing them.
Yeah. So Wolf.
You also do the Aporoids, which are robotic bug things, which are pretty cool. Those could work too. Star Fox is could be its own movie series at this point, honestly.
Yeah,
you know?
And it kind of is. We're giving it its own pillar for that reason. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so pencil in Wolf, and Wolf sort of works in the Pikmin planet and manipulates some things and uses technology. And
all right. The fifth film of the Nintendo Cinematic Universe is Zelda plus Kid Icarus.
All right, well, Medusa.
Yeah, we put Link
Medusa.
and Pit against a god.
It's all of us against a
Plus,
god.
it's going to be awesome. Plus, Medusa's going to be awesome.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that was easy. And so then we have Donkey Kong plus Kirby.
Here's the problem with Donkey Kong is that all of his scenarios are very light. His bananas were stolen.
Yeah.
There's not really any world
This
conflicts.
is the light branch.
King
K. Rool makes the most sense.
Question mark? Yeah, King K. Rool. He's the only really popular DK villain, besides for those weird wooden
plank of wood
music things that happen in Island Freeze, and,
or the Walrus guy
Returns.
from Tropical Freeze. But I think King K. Rool makes the most sense.
Just go with King K. Rool. Yeah, just go with King K. Rool.
Just appease the fans. Just do it.
Plus, it's also King K. Rool is very silly, and Kirby would kind of work with that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, so now we're getting into the hardcore stuff.
All right.
Star Fox plus Pikmin plus Metroid. Who's the villain?
Mother Brain.
I don't want to use up Ridley right now. Ridley's a side thing.
Yeah, Ridley's the Nick Fury
Metroid,
kind of, honestly.
Yeah, Metroid has so
Nick
much
Fury,
lore.
yeah,
You could go back to that one, similar
right.
to Zelda and stuff like that.
And then we have the eighth film, which is Zelda plus Kid Icarus
plus Fire Emblem.
And
I don't know the
Ganondorf. You got to do Ganondorf. Fire Emblem has some really good villains, but Ganondorf is he's so powerful. He would need 3 different characters to fight him. Link can take him down, but that's only with everything that he has.
Well, I'm wondering if Ganondorf can maybe be working in tandem with one of the minor villains from Fire Emblem. We established that. Yeah, we established that there's the villain is this minor character, but as the movie progresses, it's revealed that he's working for Ganondorf, who's the higher power.
Yeah.
Especially now that Link's here. So I guess is there Max? I'm not really familiar with Fire Emblem. Is there a minor villain that could easily sort of be just thrown
honestly, just given I'm going to speak as a Nintendo businessman here. And Fire Emblem is huge right now. It's very popular. So you want to use something that's brand new. So there is this one villain, I can't remember his name though. He's an evil old king who can actually turn into a dragon. Actually a dragon, you fight him. So we could use that guy.
Oh, wow.
He and Ganondorf both turn into their animalistic forms. And it's a 2v3 battle sort of thing. Or no, you just beat Okay. I can't remember his name though.
Do you remember what game he's from?
Fire Emblem Fates. He's from the newest one.
All right, let me. I'll find it out. Keep going.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of wondering because I don't know. It feels weird to end the end of these 3 phases, these 3 trilogies, is the Yoshi. No, actually, no, it fits. It fits because it's Bowser as the villain.
Yeah,
so,
Bowser.
Bowser.
Let's keep in this order. I think this cycle works. And so our phases are much shorter. They're only 3 movies. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna phase 1 is the first 3, and then each get their sequels, and then the third is the trilogy. And so then the 10th film is Earthbound.
Nintendo 10. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, dang it! It would be Nintendo 11. Never mind.
Gygus.
Well, yeah.
Gygus
Well, yeah. There's no other villain. Like it
Earthbound.
has to be Gygus, and maybe like when he's gone, like you realize he was like maybe created out of like Master Hand created him. He was an artificial alien that was constructed by the person pulling all the strings because Master Hand is getting a little worried that all these guys are going to come together and come kick his ass. So he creates Gygus, and Earth and Ness takes him down. And it's like, oh, geez, well, that's going to put everything into high gear.
Okay. I'd say something bold. I think we do the popular thing. I think the Smash movie, the big team-up, it needs to be a 2-parter.
2-part? Oh, dang. You think so?
That would bring us to an even dozen films.
Nintendo 12?
Wow,
I mean,
phase 1 is 12 movies.
I mean, I guess as long as we make these like distinct, like it's not like part 1 and 2. It's like 2 stories that revolve around the same idea.
Here's
but
what I would do. Here's what I would do. Bowser is the villain of the team-up. Oh, what if they free Mario? Oh, there we go. Okay, Bowser is the villains. Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, the team-up is Bowser, Ultimate Nintendo villain. They free Mario. Nope. Who was actually behind it? Master Hand. Part 2, Mario's with them. They free Mario at the end of part 1, and so he kind of leads the charge in part 2 against the true villain, Master Hand and Ripley.
I shouldn't want this, but I want this to happen. Well, now you see why she's called
Yeah, I get it now. That took me way longer.
Metroid is just Nintendo's Alien. Like that's really just it.
Yep.
All right,
I believe
sounds
that.
good. And what I'd like to do, just to be a little more ambitious, is that I'd like to take the movie or the stories from characters that are not getting their own entire movies and giving them Netflix shows. Like Fire Emblem, absolutely. Like whether or not it takes place before or after the Smash Bros. Thing, whatever. We give that a series. We give Yoshi a series. We give
Pokemon.
We give what's okay. So it was I think we give Kid Icarus a series and Metroid.
Okay, but right now let's focus on the movies because we need a name.
Okay, yeah. Oh wait,
what's the team up? What's the team up name? We don't have names for any of this really, but I'd like to have a name for the last one if we can.
I mean,
do we call it Smash?
Well, I mean, it makes the most sense, but I mean, you know, like Super Smash Bros. Makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know.
Smash, Smash movie.
Super Smash
movie.
Well,
it's like if you call it Avenger movie, like I just
the Smash Brothers.
The Smash Brothers, yeah. Okay.
The Smash Brothers Part 1 and Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense to me.
Or do we do something with Nintendo, like Nintendo Wars?
All-Star Smash. I don't know.
Nintendo All-Stars.
Battle Royale.
Yes. Underrated game. I like that game.
Let's see.
That being said, I haven't played it since I got the 2DS with Smash, but...
A name, like, just a name for the team-up movie? Like... Just like the way they call it Avengers, just because the Avengers were always called the Avengers, so you call them the Smash Brothers. You know?
Okay, so the Smash Brothers Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah. Alright, I think it's good. I think it's good. Okay.
And then if I can just mention it, now that once we have Phase 1, Phase 2 would basically be all these other characters pulling other minor characters.
Honestly, Larry,
into like
I don't want to even think about it. For me, this
wait. Okay, could we have could we still incorporate Pokemon into the final like Smash Bros. Movie? Like we still have that 3 movies in there, but they're totally standalone until they make it into the team-up movie. Is that possible? Yeah. Okay, cool. So scheduling wise, do we do 2 movies a year, 3 movies, what?
Yeah, so when do we want to kick this off? Realistically, let's give ourselves till 2019.
Yeah, let's wait until Infinity War happens, and then we just start our own thing.
All right, so let's run there, and let's like try to flip on Marvel. So let's say we release one in February and one in
October.
October's always dead, isn't it?
February and
October.
Well, except for the horror movies towards the end.
Right, but aren't those the dead months? This could be key real estate because no one's releasing there.
Yeah.
So let's start with February. So, February 2019, Star Fox with the villain of Andros. Multi-dimensional travel is introduced.
Mm-hmm.
In October of 2019, The Legend of Zelda comes out. The villain is Dark Link. Some themes about battling themselves. Maybe we borrow some Twilight Princess because there you're jumping to some dimensions and like realities with the Dark Zone, so that might be a good way to do it too, to hint at this multiverse. And then the third film is a little lighter. That's February of 2020. And that's a Kirby, who fights Nightmare. And then that's the end of Phase 1. Our little mini Phase 1, compared to Marvel at least. It's a bit small. But then in October of 2020, we get Star Fox plus Pikmin. And they fight Wolf. Wolf tries to, like, enslave the Pikmin. Star Fox helps them, and then gang help them. There's some space battles, but there's some exploration on the planet as well, just like the beloved classic Starfax temperatures. I want dinosaurs
let you
in
do
this
that,
movie.
Star Fox.
I want dinosaurs.
You want dinosaurs.
And then in February of
crystals a thing.
Yep, and then in February of 2021, we get Zelda plus Kid Icarus as they go up against Medusa. I think that's a very exciting team up. October of 2021, Kirby plus Donkey Kong as they go up against King K. Rool. Some goofy antics
It's gonna be such a crazy combination.
Yeah, I love it. I think it'll be fun.
I feel
Should we
like
release
it's
one of
basically a
these
fish
in
out of
January?
water.
Like just because like January
Guys,
is like
this
the
is
most.
just placeholders. Come on, February's just as bad. February of 2022, we get our first of the Phase 3, the big team up. Star Fox plus Pikmin, but boom, Metroid jumps in. We fight Mother Brain. Big epic sci-fi battle, and the Pikmin are used in like strategic little ways.
How are we gonna use the Pikmin? Let's be real.
Like they sneak aboard the ship and are tearing out wiring because they're tiny. Stuff like that. Easy. Sabotage. And they're expendable, so they go down with the ship.
This is going to be the weirdest collection of characters combined together ever.
This is a lot of fun.
And
you got the medium level tone with Star Fox, got the light heart with Olimar, and you get the dark with Samus. It's such a strange combo.
October
fits.
of 2022 is, I think, my favorite. Zelda, Kid Icarus, Fire Emblem. Big fantasy showdown against the powerhouse Ganondorf, and with the help of his new sidekick, what was his name? I forgot to write it down. Max?
I actually know his name.
Okay. Wizard.
I tried looking it up and I got confused.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I've gotten from those series.
Old dude who turns into dragon.
Dragon Wizard.
I don't know.
Dragon King
Dragon
guy, yeah.
Hey, if any of you guys know the name, leave it in the comments.
King Greg? No.
We'll place it, I guess.
Yep. Okay. And then we get kind of the final lead-in thing, February of 2023. The ninth film is Kirby plus DK plus Yoshi, as they bring in Mario's been abducted because Bowser's the villain. Now, this is a little unfortunate, but it's a little bit like how Thor was near the end of near Avengers, and it was the same villain, kind of. So I think it's okay. You know, Loki was the villain of Avengers and Thor, so I think it's okay that Bowser's the villain of this movie and then one later. So just addressing that one there, I think it's okay.
I guess it's worth a look.
Yeah.
And plus, Master Hand is the bigger villain.
So honestly, I wonder if we should consider this a trilogy. Earthbound and then the two Smash Brother parts. What if we made it like a 3-part trilogy? Earthbound kicked it off, and then Bowser was brought in, and then Master Hand was the end game.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, but for right now, that might be how we think of it. But the 10th film was Earthbound with Gygus. Some dimension stuff happens, and some of the heroes are brought in, and Yoshi's revealing the whole thing, that what happened, and that leads us into February of 2024, the Smash Brothers Part 1. They fight Bowser. They free Mario. What? That wasn't the main threat? No, because in October of 2024, the Smash Brothers Part 2, they fight Master Hand. And of course, Ridley has been roaming about, gathering all the villain trophies that you thought were, destroyed / killed, whatever tone you want to set. And they're all okay, and they're all summoned again by Master Hand. Epic battle of heroes versus villains. Some characters that weren't there are now brought back. Like let's bring in Sonic for a cameo, because I find that hilarious. Pokemon Trainer is there. The minor characters from other characters.
Yeah,
Splatoon
that reminds
can
me.
come in.
We have One Steak in the Summer, and those are the Pokemon standalone movies. Like they come out like once, every other June, just to have a steak in the summer.
Fine. That works okay with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That is it. That is a dozen films. That is our Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
And I think it turned out a lot better than we thought.
That did go way better than I thought.
Yeah, it's not my ideal thought for this Nintendo Cinematic Universe, but I like sort of how we all combined our ideas together and we came up with something that's pretty plausible.
I mean, like, if it were up to me, like, I would probably put Metroid as its own thing, but this is fine. Like, this is great.
And don't worry, Metroid would take over that movie because of the villain's Metroid. It's the new edition, so it would be a very Metroid-y movie. Mm-hmm. So, I think it would be done justice.
Tagging along.
But now I think it's kind of time. I think I'm looking forward to seeing the actual team up movie that's coming out, and not the one that we just made up and that will never happen.
Yes. All right. So before we just quickly move to the end here, guys, what do you think of our cinematic universe? I guess the main question here is, how would you go about doing your cinematic universe? Tell us a little bit about the structure, what films you include.
Actually, you know what? I have a better question. Take a subject, like a multiverse or whatever, and tell us the first movie and why. What's the first movie out of this gate for your cinematic universe?
Okay, yeah, better, more centralized question. So, like, for example, Hanna-Barbera's first movie is going to be Scooby-Doo, for obvious reasons. Yeah. So if you want to do a multiverse, what would your first film be? Let us know.
If the Hanna-Barbera does not do a Secret Squirrel movie, I will be upset.
Oh, man.
I love Secret Squirrel.
Cartoon Network Cinematic Universe better happen at some point. Like it's got.
Honestly, I'm kind of excited for the Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, because you
there
got
are a lot of really good
right?
characters.
John Goodman.
Yeah, you got a lot of really
good
like. Hey, Flintstones and Jetsons crossover movie, like past meets future. I'm totally down with that.
I mean, it's not like it's ever happened before.
Yeah, I know, but it would be like an official whatever. So before we go, we're just going to sort of drop this here.
Yeah. There's not really a.
We unfortunately, due to just all of our current situations right now, we've talked about this a lot, and we've sort of come to the conclusion that Rule Thirds is slowly reaching the end.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we really, it's really unfortunate. We have to get to this point, but Max and Sean are graduating very soon. I'm starting to get into even more into college, and the projects are only going to get more and more intense. So while it's not necessarily the end of us collaborating at all, it's the end of Rule Thirds, the era of the podcast Rule Thirds. And it's sad, but we're not just going to leave you right now empty-handed.
Well, here, let's explain a little bit more. I think that was a little quick for ending because I just want to say it's not like because we're graduating or all that. If for me, just my personal reasons, it felt weird for me to be trying to get like a professional career in Hollywood. Not like the biz, not like specifically Hollywood physically, but you know what I mean, movie industry, entertainment, TV, you know what I mean? Trying to get a job there while having this side project where we're we're doing reviews that we might say some negative thing. It's just professionals don't have podcasts. That's kind of what it came down
most
to.
Don't anyway.
Like, I don't know if any directors, writers, editors, cinematographers, whatever field that are making all their movies and stuff that have a podcast and they review movies or they talk about concepts and they, it doesn't seem to fit.
Well, I mean,
and it seemed like it's something I wanted.
It would be. It's very, it's branded towards the director.
Yeah,
itself,
and it's something I wanted to leave behind, honestly, and it felt.
And that's understandable.
And, this whole experiment lasted all throughout college, from freshman year till now.
Yeah. So that it feels right, and I want to apologize because we ended our amazing. I love doing the 3-year anniversary episode. We ended that with, and here's hoping for many more. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we are gonna keep collaborating. I mean, we're all very close, so we're all gonna keep helping each other out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're never gonna
we'll
talk.
still be making things.
Yeah, we might.
Right, but unfortunately, just with the podcast, it's just becoming less and less practical, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's time to sort of end.
Yeah.
I'm freshman year was a huge learning experience, and I really enjoyed it, but it was very stressful, and it's only going to get worse from here. So juggling the podcast on the side, doing that, even just recording it, it takes a lot of time.
And we get to end on good terms.
So,
we're
all on good terms. Yeah,
Max and I have had blow-ups where we've threatened to end it, and we don't want that to happen again. We're at a good spot right now, and we don't want it to be like one of us has to rush off and can't do anything, and we get to decide how it ends because it isn't ending right now. We have episodes in the future. We have 3 more to go, and so we decided what those 3 are, ahead of time when we decided to end it. So that was really nice, and we're ending it on our terms.
Yes, exactly, and
on good terms.
It's sort of like the final three, Rule Third episodes, and we're each going to host one. And I guess it's pretty obvious at this point, but the first of this final three
why don't we
is
each
going to be our...
Why don't we each introduce our episodes? Max, what's your episode?
Okay.
Well, it's clearly a review of Ratchet and Clank the movie. Like,
Yep.
I mean, obviously, yeah.
Oh, man. Can't wait for that one.
No, in reality, it is a review of the movie we have all been waiting for all our lives, Captain America: Civil War.
Woo!
Woo!
Oh my
Awesome. Can't wait for that.
I'm stoked. I'm so stoked.
It's going to be so awesome.
So that is
All
our
right,
final
and Sean,
review.
That's our final review. Sean, what about you?
I'm hosting our final top three. And it's funny, it came up very recently when we did our least favorites of the year. We are doing top three favorite movies of all time. Ever. So
It's going
that's
to
going
be
to
an
be intense.
interesting discussion.
Yeah.
And then for me, we're doing a sort of a more sentimental episode. The final episode is sort of going to be a look back.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's more of a look forward. Because we just did a look back.
Look forward, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but like even like more so. Possibly even more in depth. And then also a looking forward, what we all kind of want to do, what are these two graduates looking to do
Larry, you got
and
Max and I are stepping into the professional world. And then Larry, you just got a taste of like a bunch of different stuff because you just got your freshman year, so you have some more ideas now. So I think we can all talk about like where we think we're going, projects we have in development, what we want to put in development, backup plans. Just kind of to talk about it, what our goals are, and that's how we'll end it on an optimistic note.
Yeah,
I like the idea that's a forward thinking.
It's just going to be.
It won't feel like an end.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be a nice sort of conversation, and we're all going to talk about stuff, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it really there isn't really a topic as much as we're just going to talk, and I think that's how it should end.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what we're going to do afterwards. What is left after Rule Thirds, basically.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to wrap it up. So we just wanted to sort of announce that and put that out there, and so look forward to our review of Civil War coming up very soon. And I know we'll probably say this again by the last episode, but just again to everyone who's been listening. Thanks to our viewership, whoever you may be. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, and I've learned a lot, and it's just been it's just been a great experience, just from the start to finish. So on that note, my name is Larry.
My name is Sean.
And my name is Max.
And we'll see you on the next episode, which is the first of the final 3 Rule Thirds.
The beginning of
Until
the
then.
end.
Our rule comes to an end.
Save that. You should have saved that for the last episode. Dang it, Max. That was so good.
Until then, you'll hear us later.